The line had finally been crossed. After years of intensely personal attacks, bombshell interviews, and truth-stretching memoirs, King Charles III could no longer turn a blind eye to the reputational damage being inflicted by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. With a heavy heart, the newly crowned monarch made a drastic decision that sent shockwaves through the royal family. He revoked Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's right to enter the United Kingdom indefinitely. The unprecedented move came on the heels of the release of Meghan's hyperbolic autobiography, a 576-page mommyploitation novel thinly veiled as her truth that essentially characterized the entire royal institution as racist, abusive, and psychologically oppressive towards her. It was the latest Molotov cocktail lobbed across the pond in the couple's fiery campaign to gaslight the very existence out of the House of Windsor. Charles had reached his breaking point. "I will no longer stand idly by while my son and his greedy, victimized wife relentlessly attack and degrade the very core of this family's legacy on the global stage," he lamented to advisors. "They've proven to care only about achieving fame and wealth through salacious content that directly undermines the monarchy's credibility, achieved solely through cynically pitting us against each other and fanning flames of scandal." So in a stunning move carrying major historical significance, Charles enacted an ancient royal loophole permitting him to unilaterally restrict the territorial movements of any living persons perpetrating an act of intended insult towards the crown. Initially established centuries ago to control threats from hostile monarchies and rivals, the rule had sat dormant for hundreds of years. But in the king's eyes, the rogue actions of the California-based Duke and Duchess qualified as just that, intended insults perpetuated with the explicitly malicious goal of dethroning his family's goodwill and reputation. "The United Kingdom frankly no longer feels like a safe environment for my family, nor the royal institution itself, for as long as these two are permitted to freely enter and stage their malicious sideshows on our native soil," the exasperated king told Parliament. "Their persistent, insidious assaults upon our core values and ethics have spiraled into nothing short of perpetuated psychological abuse. So as a concerned husband, father, and leader, I must protect my kingdom from these noxious outside forces." The Duke and Duchess were naturally apoplectic over the cruel punishment, as they decried it, having assumed their luxuriously profitable exodus from royal life would be cost-free while retaining easy access to British territories. In truth, their ultimate ambition was always to establish a powerful, quasi-legit foothold on both sides of the pond, base camp for their grandiose plans of a revolutionary, culturally disruptive rebrand of both the American Republic and British Crown alike. What motivates two people to be this obsessively determined to dismantle the stable, beloved institutions that literally built their very platform for self-promotion, wrote one scathing royal columnist in the Times. There's only one plausible reason: these two were never seeking compassion or reconciliation. Just full-scale reputational demolition in order to claim the rubble and build themselves new, modernized thrones to rule from. Indeed, Harry had long harbored simmering resentments and jealousy toward being the consistently outshined, mediocre spare. While Meghan, ever the overconfident actor raised on willful delusions of grandeur, constantly reinforced his persecuted prince pathologies by gaslighting him into believing the only path to fulfillment was overthrowing the monarchy's classist stranglehold over their rightful place as true global saviors. Ever since co-opting the pro-royal masses through their strategically framed, saccharine-drenched victimhood tour, the runaway royals had worked non-stop to cultivate an increasingly extreme cult of personality bent on destabilizing the firm from within. Charles's decision was also likely fueled by the couple's undeniable role in feeding dangerous conspiracy theories and hate speech against his family, something that tragically culminated in legitimately credible threats from far-right extremists who falsely viewed the royal house as harbingers of white genocide based on the Sussex propaganda. The king simply could no longer gamble with potentially violent, radicalized retaliation stirred up by the corrosive actions of his outcast son and daughter-in-law. For their part, Harry and Meghan reacted to the king's decree with predictably over-the-top outrage. Special showcased a rehashed litany of now stale grievances laced with vague, unverifiable accusations of